Yeah. Thank you, Sundaranand Prabhu, for giving me this opportunity to read today's Bhagavatam Sloka translations. So I'll start with the prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Sarvaswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udharayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistikim. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So today we are reading from Canto 8, chapter 8, I think 1 to 11. Let me start with the first sloka translation. And the chapter heading is the churning of the milk ocean, chapter 8. So sloka 1 starts with Sukadev Goswami continued. Upon Lord Shiva's drinking the poison, both the demigods and the demons, being very pleased, began to churn the ocean with renewed vigor. As a result of this, there appeared a cow known as Surabhi. Sloka 2. O King Parikshit, great sages who were completely aware of the Vedic ritualistic ceremonies took charge of that Surabhi cow, which produced all the yogurt, milk, and ghee absolutely necessary for offering oblations into the fire. They did this just for the sake of pure ghee, which they wanted for the performance of sacrifice to elevate themselves to the higher planetary systems up to Brahmaloka. Sloka 3. Thereafter, a horse named Uchshrava, Uchai Shrava, which was as white as the moon, was generated. Bali Maharaj desired to possess this horse, and the Indra, the king of heaven, did not protest, for he had previously been so advised by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sloka 4. As the next result of the churning, the king of elephants named Airavata was generated. This elephant was white, and with its 4 tusks, it defied the glories of Kailasha mountain, the glorious abode of Lord Shiva. Sloka 5. Thereafter, O king, 8 great elephants which could go in any direction were generated. They were headed by Airavana. 8 she-elephants headed by Abramu were also generated. Sloka 6. Generated thereafter from the great ocean were celebrated gems Kastuba Mani, Padmaraga Mani. Lord Vishnu, to decorate his chest, desired to possess them. Generated next was the Parijata flower, which decorates the celestial planets. O king, as you fulfill the desires of everyone on this planet by fulfilling all ambitions, the Parijata fulfills the desire of everyone. Shloka 7. Next, there appeared the Apsaras who used as prostitutes on the heavenly planets. They were fully decorated with golden ornaments and lockets and were dressed in fine and attractive clothing. The Apsaras move very slowly in an attractive style that bewilders the inhabitants of the heavenly planets. Sloka 8. Then there appeared the goddess of fortune, Rama, who is absolutely dedicated to being enjoyed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. She appeared like electricity, surpassing the lightning that might illuminate a marble mountain. Sloka 9. Because of her exquisite beauty, her bodily features, her youth, her complexion, and her glories, Everyone, including the demigods, the demons, and the human beings, desired her. They were attracted because she is the source of all opulences. Shloka 10. The king of heaven, Indra, brought a suitable sitting place for the goddess of fortune. All the rivers of the sacred waters, such as Ganges and Yamuna, personified themselves, and each of them brought pure water in golden water pots for Mother Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune. Shloka 11. The land became a person and collected all the drugs and herbs needed for installing the deity. The the cows delivered five products, namely milk, yogurt, ghee, urine, and cow dung. And spring personified collected everything produced in spring during the month of Chaitra in Vaishaka, April and May. This is the end of the translations from the Bhagavatam till 11 from the chapter 8. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Kiran Prabhuji, for reading today's Bhagavatam section slokas. And thank you all for joining for today's Bhagavatam session. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 8, The Churning of the Milk Ocean. So slokas 1 to 11. And thank you, Sundaram Prabhu, for giving this opportunity so that I can share few points from Srila Prabhupada's purport for my own purification. So we'll start with prayers.
Thank you.
Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjanasalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pachyapta Deshatarani. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Thank you all. Just to give a background, we are in the section of churning of the milk ocean, and this pastime happened in the current day of Lord Brahma in the sixth Manvantara, in the sixth Manu Chakshusha Manvantara. And Maharaj Parikshit would like to hear, very eager to hear this pastime, and Shukadeva Goswami narrating it, and we heard up to where the Mandara mountain was brought to the milk ocean, and both the demigods and demons started churning, and we heard that poison was produced in the beginning, and then all the Prajapatis, seeing no one else to save, they approached Lord Shiva and offered him prayers, and then Shiva, being very compassionate, so he drank all the poison. So now in this chapter, we'll hear what all are produced with the churning of the milk ocean, and who possessed those things which are produced. So I will start with sloka 1. So we in this first sloka, we see that Sukadeva Goswami is continuing it. So after Lord Shiva drank the poison, so what happened? So both the demons and demigods were very pleased, Pritaha. And then they continued their churning of the milk ocean with renewed vigor. Mamantastu tarasa sindhum, like that. So then what we see, due to the churning of that milk ocean, they appeared a cow known as Surabhi, Havirdhani. So that's Surabhi. And this Surabhi cow, Prabhupada mentions in the purport, is the source of the clarified butter. So this is the source of the clarified butter. And this clarified butter produces of course, the milk, and which is necessary for performing great ritualistic sacrifices. So because the ghee is very important to perform the sacrifices, and sacrifices are something that are not to be abandoned. Everyone should do that sacrifices. So in Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says, Prabhupada quotes that sloka saying that Yajna Dana Tapa Karma na Tyajyam Karyam Eva Tatta. Like, the Yajna Dana Tapa. So these three things should not be abandoned, like, should be done by the human society so that the society can be in peace and prosperity. And to do the yajna, the essential thing is clarified butter. So the clarified butter is necessary, and that clarified butter will come from the milk. And we see that milk is produced from the cows. So that's why Prabhupada stresses that if the human society, uh, if we want to see the human society as a peace and perfect, so the cow protection is recommended. Prabhupada also quotes the Bhagavad Gita sloka where Krishna mentions that one of the sect of the Varnashrama people, so like the Vaishyas, they are recommended the cow protection. Krushi Goraksha Vanajam Vaishya Karma Subhavajam, like, Kushi Goraksha. So the cow protection is very much important so that the human society can be continue their life with a peaceful way. So, and Prabhupada mentions that so this cow is the most important animal, not only to perform the yajna also, the whatever the things that are required for the yajna that comes from cow, but even when the human beings, when they drink the cow milk, so their brains will be developed very nicely. So if the brain gets developed very nicely, then the intelligence will be sharpened. And due to that, they one will be able to understand the spiritual knowledge. So that's why um, cow is very important because milk is produced. And another point is because we are drinking the milk of a cow, cow is also considered as a one of the mother. So Prabhupada several times quotes the Chanakya Pandit's verse saying that we have seven mothers: Atma, Mata, Guru, Patni, Brahmani, Raja, Patnika, Denur, Dhatri, Tata, Prithvi. So these seven mothers, like, one's own mother, the wife of Guru, and the wife of Brahmana, the wife of king, the cow. So the cow is also mother, and nurse and the earth. So these are all seven mothers. Of course, more than that, cows are very dear to Krishna. Go Brahmanitaya cha. So, well-wisher of cows and Brahmana. Krishna is a well-wisher of cows and Brahmana. So, that's why it is very important uh, for the human beings to see that, cows are protected. And in the second sloka, so Sukadeva Goswami is continuing saying that so once the cow appeared, so who took the charge of this cow? So the great sages were completely aware of the Vedic ritualistic ceremonies. So they took charge of these cows, Brahmavadina, like, the Brahmanas who were aware of the Vedic ritualistic. So, and Prabhupada mentions in the purport that so generally these Surabhi cows are found in the spiritual world, the Vaikunta planets. Then Brahma Samhita also, Prabhupada quotes that sloka saying that, Krishna in Goloka Vrindavana, he engages in tending these Surabhi cows. Surabhi Rabi Palayantam, like that. So that's why these Surabhi cows are Krishna's pet animals. And here we see that uh, the Surabhi cows produce all yogurt, milk, and ghee absolutely necessary for offering oblations into the fire. And they did just for the sake of pure ghee, which they wanted for the performance of sacrifice to elevate themselves to the higher planet systems up to Brahmaloka. So, and Prabhupada mentions that the Surabhi cows, the special of the Surabhi cows is they will produce unlimited milk. Like when you try to take the milk from the cow, so it will produce unlimited milk, unlike the regular milks that we see that. Not only that, you can also um, take the milk unlimited times, many times, not in one day, not that one or two times like that. So it can yield milk unlimitedly, and you can do unlimited times also. And of course, these Surabhi cows also appeared in this universe this material world also we hear like two stories, like Vasistha Muni had a Kamadhenu or Surabhi cow, and there is a dispute between Vishwamitra, because Vishwamitra wanted that cow, and then that pastime we hear that uh, Vishwamitra forcefully wanted to take, but uh, Vasistha Mahamuni and Surabhi cow stops that, and there was a great fight, and Vishwamitra was defeated by Vasistha Mahamuni's Brahmanical powers. And then we hear that Vishwamitra desiring to get those Brahmanical powers, so he performs a great yajna like that, I mean tapasya. So then he achieves that position of Brahmarshi. So similarly, Lord Parshuram's father Jamadagni has this Kamadhenu, and one time this Kartaviri Arjuna or Sahasra Arjuna. So he also comes and he forcefully takes that Kamadhenu, the Surabhi cow from Jamadagni, and then we hear the conflict or the fight between Parshuram and Kartaviri Arjuna, and later Kartaviri Arjuna is killed like that. So these Surabhi cows are in the charge of these great sages who uses them, their products in the, especially the milk and cow ghee and all, for the purpose of the yajnas. And then the both demigods and demons continue to churn the milk ocean, and then we see that what was produced later is Uchaishrava. Uchaishrava. So this is white as the moon was generated. So and this is mentioned that it's a 700 flying horse, and Chandra Paundraha, like in it's white as the moon, and this is the best of the horses. And Krishna also mentions in Bhagavad Gita that when he's describing his opulences, he says that Uchaishrasam Ashwanam. So out of the horses, he is known to be as the Uchaishram. So this horse. So it's very special horse. And Vidimam Amrutodbhavam, like Krishna mentions that this came out from the ocean of milk during the churning, and born of the elixir immortality. Like so, from this we can understand that this horse is very special and best of all the horses. And we see that Bali Maharaj wanted to possess this horse, and Indra did not protest because Supreme Lord previously advised that so not to have any conflict until this nectar is produced. So this is another thing, like even if there is a small issues comes up in our sadhana also, in achieving Krishna prema or going back home back to Godhead, so we should tolerate it, and so that we can be able to achieve the success of getting Krishna prema or going back home back to Godhead. So in the next sloka we see that the next thing that is produced from the milk of ocean churning is the king of elements named Airavata. So Varana Indraha, like that's a king of elements. And Krishna also mentions in Bhagavad Gita that out of the elephants, he's Airavatam. Airavatam Gajendranam, like that. And this elephant has a 4 tusks, and it is a white color. Danta is Chaturbisi, like Danta is Chaturbi, like 4 tusks. And Sveta, it is in the color of a Sveta. And of course, in the scriptures also we hear like Indra took in charge of this Airavata elephant, and he uses it as his carrier. And many times we hear when Indra goes to anywhere, so he travels on this Airavata. So the Airavata name is also found in the scriptures several times. And in the text 5, afterwards, from the churning of milk ocean, so we see that there are 8 great elephants. They could go in any direction, and also there are 8 she elephants headed by Abramu. And Prabhupada mentions the names of these 8 great elephants in the purport, headed by the Airavana. Says and Airavana and Pundarika, Vamana, Kumuda, Anjana. Like that, the 8 elephant names are also mentioned in the Prabhupada's purport for this sloka. And then in the text 6, we see that what is generated next from the churning of this milk ocean is celebrated gems, Kaustavamani and Padmaragamani. So these are all Abhud Ratnam. So there are celebrated gems. So very wonderful gems. So who received these? So Lord Vishnu received that to decorate his chest and desired to possess them. Of course, Krishna, the Supreme Lord, when he wears the ornaments, so the ornaments gets beautified. Not that Krishna gets are beautified, because Krishna is already all beautiful. So, so then when he wears the ornaments gets beautified. So that's when Bhagavatam it is mentioned that Bhushana Bhushana Angam, like that. When Krishna wears the Bhushanas, the ornaments gets beautified. So in many cases, when I wear the ornaments, so I get my beauty will be increased like that. But here, so the ornaments beauty will be beautified. And then we see that continuing that churning. So the next which was produced is Parijata flower. So Parijata flower, and this Parijata flower decorates the celestial planets, Suraloka Vibhushanam. So, and not only that, it also fulfills the desires of everyone, Purayati, on this planet by fulfilling all ambitions, and Parijata fulfills the desires of everyone. So very special is Parijata flowers. And we hear the pastime of Krishna taking this Parijata tree from heavenly planet and plants in the garden of his one of his queen Satyabhama. So that's mentioned in the 10th chapter, like after Krishna killing Narakasura and then marrying all the 16,100 young princes who were captured by Narakasura. Then he goes to heavenly planets along with his queen Satyabhama to hand over Aditi's earrings. And then there Satyabhama wanted this Parijata tree. Then Lord Krishna approved that Parijata tree. And then he wanted to take to the Dwarka. And then Indra and many other demigods, they oppose taking this Parijata tree from heavenly planets to Dwarka. Then, of course, Krishna defeats all of them. And then he takes that Parijata tree to Dwarka and he plants it in the garden adjacent to Satyabhama's palace. So, continuing that in the next sloka, we see that the Apsaras were appeared when the churning is continued. So, and these Apsaras are used as prostitutes on the heavenly planets. And we see that they were fully decorated with golden ornaments and lockets and were dressed in fine and attractive clothing. The Apsaras move very slowly in an attractive style that bewilders the inhabitants of the heavenly planets. So we see that the Apsaras are very beautiful. So, and Indra many times he takes the help of these Apsaras to break the tapasya of many great personalities. Like he sends these apsaras, like when Vishwamitra is performing tapasya, he sent Manaka, and Manaka was able to break the tapasya of Vishwamitra. Of course, Vishwamitra is back again after a while, and then he sends Rambha, and then this time Vishwamitra um, not agitated by lust, but he becomes um, uh, agitated with angerness. So he curses anger like that. So these apsaras, in many places, we see that these apsaras are used to break the tapasya of many great saintly personalities or great personalities. So that so Indra most of the times he feels like that these great personalities performing tapasya, so they may become they may take his throne. So that's why he wanted to break this tapasya sometimes like that. And then next, who appeared from this milk ocean churning? Goddess of fortune, Rama. And here we see that she is absolutely dedicated to being enjoyed by the Supreme Lord. and she appeared like electricity surpassing the lighting that might illuminate a marble mountain. And Prabhupada mentions in the purport that the goddess of fortune, she means opulence. And Prabhupada mentions Krishna is the owner of all opulences. And he also quotes the Bhagavad Gita sloka, Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, Bhaktaram Igni Tapasa, Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, Suhridam Sarvabhutanam, Gnatvamam, Shanti Mrichitam. So Prabhupada mentions that this is a peace formula. So when people know that, so Supreme Lord Krishna is the supreme enjoyer, is the supreme proprietor, and is the well-wishing friend for all living entities, then one will be able to achieve peace and prosperity. So, and Prabhupada mentions that unfortunately, many conditioned living entities being placed in illusion. So instead of looking at this in this way, Krishna is the supreme proprietor. So they claim themselves as supreme proprietors and they fight each other. So that's why Prabhupada stresses that one should give up his false proprietorship and offer everything in the service of Krishna. So then one can be situated in peaceful and then prosperity will come to them. And the next sloka, you see that because of Mother Lakshmi's exhaustive beauty, bodily feature, youth, complexion, and her glories, everyone, including the demigods, demons, human beings, everyone desired her. And Prabhupada mentions that who in this world doesn't want possess wealth or beauty or name and fame. So all these things, because they all come from these opulences. And Prabhupada mentions that generally people they desire material enjoyment and material opulences or the association of aristocratic family members. Bhoga Ishwarya Prasaktanam, like that. And these material enjoyment everything will come from money, like the who is the source of the source is the goddess of fortune. So, but however, goddess of fortune, Mother Lakshmi, her another name is called Chanchala. So she will not stay at one place, but she will stay at one place where Lord Krishna is present. So Bhagavata Para, like because she is the property of Supreme Lord Krishna, so she will stay wherever Lord Narayana is there. So Prabhupada points that saying that if one wants favor of Mother Lakshmi, goddess of fortune, so then she has to be kept along with Lord Narayana. So one should engage uh, the Lakshmi that one receives in the service of Lord Narayana, Narayana Parayana. So then one can achieve the favor of Mother Lakshmi. So then they will not be frustrated. So, but generally, most of the cases, the conditioned living entities, they wanted to enjoy for their own purpose and not engaged in the service of Lord Narayana. So that's why the conditioned living in this material world, they are frustrated. Prabhupada gives the example of Ravanasura. So Ravanasura wanted Mother Sita and he wanted to be Mother Sita to be separated from Lord Ramchandra. So he don't want to worship Mother Sita along with Lord Ramchandra. He wanted for himself. So that's why the result is instead of he become peace and prosperity. So it is the result was opposite. So everything is destroyed. So Lord Ravana, I mean, Ravanasara was killed and all his empire is destroyed. So everything is unfavorable or whatever the result that he thought. So it didn't come. So it is reverse. So that's why Prabhupada mentions that if one wants to achieve the mercy of the goddess of fortune, one should engage Mother Lakshmi in the service of Lord Narayan. So then we see that then Indra brought a suitable sitting place for goddess of fortune and all the rivers of sacred water such as Ganges, Yamuna. They personified themselves and each of them brought pure water in golden water pot for Mother Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune. And then the last sloka for today. Even the land became a person and collected all the drugs and herbs needed for installing the deities. Then the cows, we see that they delivered the Panchagavya, five products, namely milk, yogurt, ghee, urine, and cow. And Prabhupada mentions in the purport about this Panchagavya. So they are all required in all ritualistic ceremonies. So whenever we also see in our temples, right, whenever there is a ritualistic ceremonies, so they will use these panchagavyas, milk, yogurt, ghee, urine, and cow dung, like that. So that's why Prabhupada stresses that so cow is a very important animal for human civilization. So that's a Prabhupada mentions Krishna saying that Go Raksha. So the protection of cows is very much required. So one should give the protection to cows. And unfortunately, in this Kali Yuga, being misled, so many people, some of the people, they are killing cows for the sake of their satisfying their tongue. So eating the cow meat, like that. So and that's why Prabhupada mentions that these natural disturbances will appear. So when one kills the animals for the satisfaction of their tongue, then these natural disturbances will arise. Not only that, the natural disturbances, but also the diseases will increase, like cancer and all these things will increase because of the people killing all the animals, especially cows. So that's why Prabhupada stressed that human society, um, as long as they continue to kill these animals, opening big slaughterhouses, there is no question of peace and prosperity. So if one wants peace and prosperity, so they should follow the regularity principles of no meat eating. So then at least there will be a hope for the peace and prosperity. So then we'll continue in the next session. What are all other things happened from the churning of the Milk Ocean? So I'll pause it here. Thank you all for giving this opportunity. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.